This is one of the most common things people say in response to my recommendation for how to study for the MCAT. Let me give you a counter argument. Let me frame it to you a different way. If you don't go into it without knowing all the content, you're going to waste the opportunity of having to figure out the most probably correct answer even when you don't know for certain what the correct answer is. The actual MCAT is not going to reproduce all of the content that you memorized exactly. It's going to push you. It's going to give you novel scenarios, and you're going to have to apply the basic foundational concepts in those new ways. Now, if you start practicing without doing a content phase, you're applying content in new ways to new contexts from the start. You're practicing that skill of deduction and reasoning. As you go, you're answering for yourself, what would I have needed to know content-wise to have gotten that question right, or to have eliminated that distracting wrong answer? Day after day, you will be learning the most high-yield things that you specifically need to know in order to get answers right. Now, there's always one or two people in my comment section saying something like, well, there is content on the MCAT, you have to know content. Yeah, you do, but when you acquire it in context, you know exactly what content you need, and you know exactly how it's going to be applied, and you know exactly how you individually should study it in order to address the mistakes that you make when you are less familiar with the content. It saves you hours of learning unnecessary things that you individually may not have needed in order to get questions right. The last thing I'll give you is this idea. If someone has a PhD in chemistry, are they bound to ace all the chemistry questions on the MCAT? I can tell you, from knowing people who have PhDs and took the MCAT, the answer is no. Because the MCAT itself is a task. It is not just a place for you to reproduce information that you've memorized. You have to be able to deploy the information, reason with the information, use the information to deduce the most likely correct answer on the MCAT. So you can't just memorize your way through it. It's about the skill and acquiring and deploying the content in a skillful way specific to the MCAT. For all those reasons, and on the basis of my 10 years of experience and my personal experience with not only the MCAT, but step 1, 2, and 3 of the USMLE, I recommend that you start with practice questions early, make mistakes often, and scaffold any acquisition of content by doing practice questions and studying in a targeted way.